Ray, where did you get that from?
I built that 2 years ago.
You built it?
Absolutely.
Oh, you didn't buy? I thought you'd have bought this from a nice motorhome shop somewhere.
This is just out of the Barefoot Workshop. Well, 2 years ago it was.
Wow, crikey, so where are you heading?
Well, I'm making the great escape.
Oh yeah.
I've been let out. I'm going places. UK first, then France, Spain, and I've got the bikes on the back, the electric one,
Yeah.
and I'm going up the Picos on it.
Oh
What
wow,
about that?
well the Picos de Europa in northern Spain.
Absolutely, you've got it.
Wow.
Hasn't moved, hasn't got wheels on,
Right,
but I've got wheels on.
That sounds like a hell of a trip. So, well, you're going for a shakedown then, are you?
I'm going to do a shakedown. That means that I'm going down to the field at the bottom there. I'm going to get everything out, make
Yeah.
sure everything's there. Look at my list to make sure I've got it, because I tell you what, when you're away in Spain and you haven't got your hot water bottle on a cold night, you'd be desperate.
Great. Well, do you know what? I'm actually coming to catch up with you to see how are you going to charge these bikes on this
I
on this
got
van?
I got all the kit on board. I tell you what, why don't you mosey on down, come and see me. I'll get something on with a kind of bevy and you can have a look round. How's that? You can see me at work. How about that?
One final question. You talk about Great Escape. Have you been let out or have you been kicked out?
No comment. Adios, amigos.
Adios! And away he goes. And do you know what? It actually makes a huge amount of sense. Going away in a van with your e-bike offers a huge amount of independence. You haven't got to book into any hotels or go by their routines. You haven't got to get into an aeroplane, and you simply have that freedom to pretty much go and do whatever you want to do. I think I'm gonna have to go and check out how he charges his e-bikes though. Let's have a look. I tracked down Ray to visit him during his shakedown of the van to look at every aspect of the build, discussing the drawbacks, benefits, and determining what you need, what you don't need, and where to get stuff without spending a crazy amount of money. After all, it's possible to save yourself hundreds of pounds on a small van conversion, and at the other end of the scale, thousands. Ray, you're right.
Oh, Steve, there you are.
Hold on a minute. Now I recognise the Barefoot bike. But what are these? How did you suddenly acquire 3 more e-bikes?
Well, I had a call from some friends that are staying here, no
Right.
hookup, so they needed a bit of power. So I thought I'd pop down, do my checkout, make sure everything's okay on the van because it's just been in store all the time. Same time, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, give them a charge, and I can get on the van.
Hold on. There's no hookup here. What's all this electric then?
Oh, that runs off the 2 inverters that are on board.
Are you actually telling me that you can charge 5 e-bikes from one? I mean, it's a nice looking van, Ray, but it's a small van.
Sure thing, there's no problem.
Right.
I can do 5, I can have the TV and the fridge freezer on us at the same time.
Oh, great.
No problem.
Wow. Can we start by having a look at the fine detail of how you managed to get power from the van to the e-bike, which will enable us to go and explore some trails?
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, first of all, I go off-grid a lot, so on the top there, 2 very large solar panels. And on a sunny day, I can get almost 40 amps down from those at 12 volts, which is a lot of power. Opening time.
What time is the opening time?
Any time you like on this, because the fridge is over there, the beer's in, everything's ready.
And do you know what? And there's me thinking that you had all this, these solar panels to chill your beer.
Well, you might be right. Now, we were talking about power. This is what it's all about. This is a very small 1-bike inverter, 300 watts. And if we said you had 200 or 300 watts for each bike, you can see you quickly get up to 1,000 watts. I got 2,000 on here, so we're okay. But I do want the fridge to run to keep the beer cool. I do want the TV on in the evening, so there's a bit of a demand on it. In simple terms, we've got 2 solar panels at the top. We've got 2 controllers that control the power coming down. We've got 2 big batteries and 2 inverters. And that's for the daytime side. But at night, if things go a bit tight, 180 amp alternator on here, just run the engine. She's a quiet beast, but you don't want to upset anyone, so, you know, best fill up in the daytime. Yeah. And that's it. It's really simple. There's nothing much to it at all.
Now, many of us will associate well the idea of going where you want and not having to tune into the timetables of restaurants or hotels. Sleeping in a place on a bed you know, getting up when you want. In fact, you don't have to stick to anyone's schedule but your own, and Ray has it well sorted. You wouldn't be able to charge 5 bikes for multiple days, surely?
I wouldn't want to,
Right.
because that would be a bit of a stress to the system. It might mean that I turn the fridge down and the beer might get not so good. So I would say that 2 bikes, the TV, the fridge and all the other gear,
Yeah.
I can go forever and a day.
Forever and a day?
Ever and a day.
With this setup?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I've got enough coming down from the top. I've got enough backup on the alternator if I need it. It really is okay.
So for someone who's starting off on their van adventures, would you recommend going for your solar panel approach, or do you think it's good to have a little bit of a hookup just for safety?
Well,
When you're starting off on your van adventures.
yeah, I think the hookup is the way to go, because these solar panels are quite large.
Yeah.
If you plug in with a hookup, then you're charged £3 a night for that. And most places, they will say 15, 20, 25 pounds, including electrics. And you'll find you've got electric positions and you just go and
Yeah.
pick one up and that's it. The only time you might want to have your own system is if there are no
Yeah.
hookups.
Wow, this is all very comfortable, I have to say.
There you are, Steve.
Ray, what I'm struck with is how it's like, you're right, it's like a TARDIS in here, but also it's very, very light. You see a lot of motorhomes, they seem to be, yeah, they're quite dark, a lot of wood in there, a lot of dark wood and curtains. It's beautifully light in here.
I don't like brown.
What's
That's
this
what it is.
material? What's this material of you?
This is
oh my God, that's so light! I expected that to be really heavy. What is it?
It's aluminized sandwich, about 3 mils thick.
Yeah.
So it's called Butler finish,
Yeah.
and it's rather reminiscent of the old silver line caravans that you used to have in America.
So did you actually make all these doors?
Absolutely, they're very easy to make actually, because the stuff is thin. What you do is you just run a router along the back edge. You can see where the fold line is. You run a router along the back edge, just
Yeah.
making a little cut,
Yeah.
and then you get your wife's or your partner's hairdryer and you warm it up and you bend it by hand, and that's what it looks like. Plastic white on the inside and your Butler finish on the outside. And because you don't want to push everything up in the air, these little 50k pushers, £2 each.
Yeah.
Now look at this. Not only do they hold it out of the way, when they come down, they push it in. What
Right.
could be better?
Is there a compression and rebound adjust on those dampers?
No, it's just too simple. Not only have we got the overhead, but we've also got the underbed. And out she comes, a nice size locker for putting heavy stuff. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those.
One of the great benefits of roaming in a van is that you are in charge of your food and all the unknowns of eating out disappear. Still, you've got to get things right. It looks like there's a nice bit of duck there for a dinner later. Actually, talking about food, how long can you go for self-sufficient in this van?
Probably about a week, maybe a bit longer. If you're in Scotland and it's a bit cool, you might need a bit more to eat,
Yeah.
keep you warm.
Yeah.
But certainly a week. And you have the freezer. That's pretty good there, pretty big freezer. And you've got a fridge. You can buy a small tabletop fridge, which you can bung under here, which has got a small freezing compartment for 75 quid. It's got a compressor on it. It really does drive down to minus 22 degrees without any problem at all. And that's what you want. Don't go and spend a lot of money on something that only a couple of thousand a year are made.
Now, clearly another essential piece of equipment is the cooking area. I see you've gone for a 4-ring setup there.
This is a standard cooker. It costs about 160 quid. They make millions of them. Really, really good, and it works off propane. And I gotta say, this is the way to go. Don't buy special cookers, special rings. You might find that most motorhomes only have 2 rings. That's no good for someone that likes cooking.
Yeah.
You need 4.
Yeah. So food preps, I mean, you see a lot of mountain bikers with their vans, and they dedicate a lot of space for their bikes, and they forget about the surfaces to cut in their food, right?
Absolutely. If you're going to prepare food, you want space. You want space to put your plates down when you're loading them up before you serve them. Water, there you are, hot and cold, no problems at all. Available any time of day. Safety and control. Open this up. 2 controllers for the solar panel, and also automatic control for other things as well. They hide in there. Here's your...
It's a switch!
It's a switch, but it's also got USB on there as well. That's right. And we got lights, and we just put them on, and there they go.
Careful with the lights.
Well, there we are. Over here we have a temperature gauge that tells us what the temperatures in here is. This is a system that tells you if you've got any carbon monoxide that you don't really want. You press the button and it does a test for you. And you have this because when it's finished beeping, you've got a gas cooker, and that is a combustible device. So you really need to monitor your carbon monoxide, and this does it. It certainly makes a load of noise if you've got a problem.
And what's those little fans to your right hand side there?
This is the part of the in-house cooling system. There are fans everywhere. They're under the floor, under the cooker, in the toilet.
So Ray, it's not quite bedtime, but your bedding area actually converts to your lounge as well, right?
It does indeed. It's 2-in-1 again. It's the old barefoot scenario. One thing does 2 things, and that's what we got.
What are the benefits of having your lounge and bed area in the same place?
Well, most often when you've got a motorhome, even large ones, it takes time to get to bed. You have to get things out, put things by, take stuff off, muck about, and 20 minutes later you're ready for bed. But I don't know, I haven't got a lot of time for that. And the way to do it, for me, is to use, well, I use in the daytime, run a memory foam over the top of it, and then pop myself on a lovely piece of whatever it is.
Do you know what? I can see a demonstration coming on.
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
Right, here we go. First of all, cushions. We'll put them somewhere else. This is the pillow. I chucked the pillow up there to start with. Pull the memory foam mattress out, about 2 inches thick. Pop it underneath the pillow.
Now, I like that. I like that.
That is really good because it's really comfortable. You've got 5 inches of foam, 2 inches of memory foam. It's the princess and the pea, no problem. We continue with pulling out the duvet. There's the duvet. Flap it open and let's get in, straight in. Oh, I feel luxury coming on already.
Comfortable there, Ray?
Yeah, very comfortable.
After a hard day's bike riding?
That's it. And of course, if I fancy a cup of coffee at 3 in the morning because I'm waking up, I can just help myself.
Well, what a luxurious setup. And whilst Ray loads up his homemade e-bikes, his barefoot e-bikes, to go on his tour to Wales, Scotland, France and Spain, I think all that needs to be said is we're going to follow this video up with a look on how to fit out your own van for doing off-grid charging and adventures out and about. Let's know what you think about Ray's setup. I'm sure you'll agree it's an amazingly made sort of unit. He's done everything from start to finish, all the cupboards, the fittings, you name it, he's done it. Clever guy. So see you out on the hills.